between the Bearcats of Huntington and the Huskies of Bishop Carroll. Huntington checks into Ebensburg tonight with a 7-win and 6-loss record, and Bishop Carroll's mark is 6 wins and 9 losses. Should have a very good ball game tonight. We're looking forward to some exciting action, and if you can join us here at Bishop Carroll, we're hoping that you're tuning in to us and will listen to the ball game with us tonight. We'd like to say hello to a few people as we start the broadcast off, and as the JV game winds down here with the JV score, Bishop Carroll 42 and Huntington 38 in the preliminary. Would like to say hello to Peggy Corin, who is our station manager at WIYQ, and Peggy will be checking in with us at different times during the evening, and she's one of our good fans. Hello to you, Peggy. And we have some other listeners, too, we're going to be talking to as the night wears on. You can hear the noise, you can hear the excitement, and the reason for that is in this Huntington Bishop Carroll JV game, a boy from Huntington just nailed a 3-pointer, and that makes the score Bishop Carroll 42, Huntington 41, with 51 seconds to go. As we're looking ahead to the varsity game tonight, a few things that you should be made aware of. First of all, Huntington has had tremendous success in the last 5 or 6 years with their basketball program, and they do an outstanding job. Last year, 1987, they had 24 wins and 6 losses, and that was good enough to earn them the District 6 championship of the AAA division last year. The year before that, 1986, they had 19 wins and 7 losses. They were just edged out that year by Cambria Heights for the division championship there, the District 6 Division 6 championship. 1985, 22 wins and 5 losses, and they were the District 6 champs that year. And the year before that, 1984, 26 wins and 6 losses. So if you look at the last 4 years, Huntington basketball has been tremendous. They've had some tremendous ball clubs, and they are the District 6 champions 3 of the last 4 years. That's not very easy to do. Anyone that follows the game knows that to win the District 6 championship, you have to have a superb season, probably anywhere from 15 to 18 to 20-plus wins. In addition, you have to get hot during the playoffs, and you have to beat some mighty good teams to win the Division 6 championship. Huntington has done that in recent years, and as I mentioned, they are the Division 6 championship winners 3 of the last 4 years. Bishop Carroll, also very successful in recent years. Their program, it probably can best be described as on the way up, I would have to say. Under Coach Bruce Frickland, they are going through a season that shows them with 6 wins and 9 losses, but they feel that when they get a couple of boys back who have been hurt, that as the year winds down, they're going to be a force in the Class A playoffs. So we'd like to cut back to the station for a few commercials, and we'll be joining you very soon. Also has had its problems this year getting the kids healthy and getting them into playing shape. We had some bad news from the Bishop Carroll camp on Friday night. Doug Dolges, who is the son of Jerry Dolges. Jerry is one of the football coaches here at Bishop Carroll. Doug Dolges has gone down for the 2nd time this year with a separated shoulder, and I saw Doug as I came into the gym tonight, not even dressed. And one of the hardest things for a young athlete is to experience an injury of this type that would not allow him to dress for the game. After all the months of hard work, after all the preparation that goes into this, and all the off-season time, to come up injured is really, very frustrating and very disheartening. So Doug will be on the sideline tonight. We're going to try to get a hold of him for an interview at halftime, and maybe he can tell us how things are going and how he feels the shoulder is responding to the treatment. But Doug is out with a separated shoulder tonight. So we have the starters for Bishop Carroll. The boy we're going to talk about has been one of the mainstays for Bishop Carroll this year. He's like an anchor. As he goes, so goes the Huskies. And we admire him very much for his determination, his intensity. Many, many times he steps on the floor and he is going to be outmanned in terms of size and in terms of weight, but never in terms of heart. And his name is Glenn Beck, number 32. Glenn is a senior. He probably stands about 6 foot 1 inches tall, and Glenn is a tower of strength for Bishop Carroll. At 6'1", as I mentioned, many times he's outmanned, but he plays the game as if he were about 6'4", 6'5". We enjoy watching him play. And if you ever have heard the expression game face, the look on a player's face as he's about ready to enter the ball game, that describes Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck has a classic game face on, and the opponents know when they go against Mr. Beck, they're in for a tough time. In addition to him, the starters will include number 33, Chris Kordek, who Friday night's ball game had one of his better shooting nights, scored 33 points. And also Tom Cicatillo, number 42 for Bishop Carroll. Number 23 is Tom Christ. And number 12 will be Bob Ratchford. So those are the starters for Bishop Carroll. We have given you the starters for Huntington. We're going to cut back to the station now for a few commercials.
Winners here. If you don't want to slip and slide, see Ron Davidson Chevrolet in Ebensburg, who specializes in
basketball night in Ebensburg. This is Ron Rufrano, and my broadcast partner Gary Worm should be joining me very soon. We have a boys varsity tilt tonight. The Huskies of Bishop Carroll against the Bearcats of Huntington, and both teams are out now on the floor with the pregame warm-ups. 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go till tip-off time. Two officials for tonight's game, Gary Lubert from the Northern Cambria chapter, and Ray Watkowski from also the Northern Cambria chapter. And as I told the boys before the game, you never make a bad call on the radio. There's no such thing as a bad call on the radio unless I say it is. And we usually take it pretty easy on the officials. They have a tough job to do. I think that it's remarkable that if you look at the percentage of the calls that are made over the course of the evening, that they probably average anywhere from 90 to 95 to probably 98% of their calls that are correct. And it's unfortunate that the 1 or 2 or 3% of the calls that are incorrect are the ones you talk about, but these guys do a fine job. We're very glad to see two experienced people on the ball game tonight. Bishop Carroll dressed in their traditional navy blue with white and silver trim. They will be wearing the jerseys, the home white with the blue trunks. Their style of uniform has their jersey that hangs out of their shirt. They don't tuck their shirts in, but they run up and down the floor pretty much like Marquette University with the shirts not tucked into the pants. And they have the symbolic Husky embroidered on their trunks, on the basketball shorts. Huntington, on the other hand, is dressed in their navy blue, dark shirts, dark shorts, with the Bearcats written across the chest. They have red and white trim on the uniforms, and they will be the visiting team, of course, tonight. As we look at this ball game, Monday night, not a very big crowd in the gym. We have the traditional Husky following that's here, and I can guarantee you that as the game heats up, they will be very, very vocal indeed in supporting their ball club. Huntington, it appears, did not bring a bus tonight. Monday night may be a little bit tough for the kids to get out. Of course, the drive is very difficult. We're talking probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half from Huntington to Ebensburg, and that's on a good night. That's when the roads are good, as they are tonight. So very difficult, of course, to get a lot of followers here, but we would encourage everyone to come out and watch a high school game before the season comes to a close. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that these young men really put on a pretty good show, pretty exciting, and we encourage everyone to find a favorite team and come out and watch a few of the games because it really is a good night's entertainment. We have 5 minutes, 33 seconds to go until game time. This is Ron Rufrano with our broadcast partner Gary Worm, and as we're checking things out, Bishop Carroll doing their laps, Huntington shooting around, and we're going to cut back to the station for a few commercials. Nice to see you.
Yeah, Ron, I'm running a little bit late tonight. I had a prior commitment that I had to attend to. We should have a classic matchup here tonight. We see that Doug Dolges is not dressed for the Bishop Carroll Huskies. And Ron, before we start anything here, I made a promise here. I'd like to say thank you to Mary Youngkin and Lisa Youngkin and Paul Youngkin for listening to us tonight, and I hope they keep listening. We got another big game tomorrow. Blackleaf Valley and Laurel Valley will be tomorrow night. So for you listeners, I hope you stick with us. Me and Ron are trying to do our best here.
Well, Gary, it's funny because, you know, as we're broadcasting these games, throughout the course of the day, occasionally I'll talk to someone and they'll say, those on the radio last night sounded pretty good. And I think our ratings are going up, Gary, as the year goes on. So we would encourage everyone to listen. Of course, if you can make it out to the game, we would like to see you here. If not, tune us in WIYQ-FM. And we have the opening tip-off here between number 45 of Huntington, that is Matt Elder, and number 32 of Carroll, that's Glenn Beck. The Huskies retain possession, and they begin to attack right to left on the radio dial. Shot is up, no good. Rebound, up again by Bishop Carroll, no good. Huntington with the rebound. And they get the ball down the floor very quickly. Pass is thrown away and out of bounds. So we have no score yet with 7 minutes, 42 seconds ago. Huntington now in a full court press, and they are giving Bishop Carroll a little bit of trouble in the backcourt. Number 33 for Carroll is Chris Kordick. He looks around, passes to Sylvester. That's the point guard that took the place of Doug Dolges tonight. To the corner to Cicatillo. Back to Sylvester, top of the key, cross court. The ball goes now into the corner. Bishop Carroll working the ball perimeter against the Huntington 2-3 zone. Kordick, baseline drive, 6-footers up and in. Chris Kordick draws first blood tonight for Bishop Carroll with a nice left-handed dribble on the baseline. Pulled up about 6 feet away, made a nice, pretty shot, and Carroll takes the early lead. Huntington now on the attack. And as we mentioned, Gary, Huntington is a team that is beset by injuries. They probably have, as I'm looking at their roster, they probably have 3 players who would have seen action in tonight's game that are not available, and they have only dressed, as I'm looking, a total of 3, 6, okay, there's 7 bench players, but of those 7, Gary, 3 are JV players, so they are down to a skeleton squad tonight also. As we told you to start the game, Huntington is a taller team. They have 2 boys 6'5", 1 boy 6'2", and their best player is number 25. His name is Brett Gutschall. He is a 5'11" senior guard, and he's averaging 13 points a game. As Huntington answers with a bucket by 44 Paul Elder, and we have Bishop Carroll now inbounding against the Huntington press. It's a 2-2-1 press. And Ratchford working the ball at the half court to Kordick. Kordick crosses over. He's going to let one fly from just outside the three-point range. No good. 44 for Huntington, pulls it down. That's Paul Elder. Huntington now looking at the Bishop Carroll man-to-man defense, and they go to work. First pass goes to number 30. That is Craig Black. He works inside. No good. Rebound goes to Carroll. That's Tom Cicatillo with the rebound. And Huntington now, when there's no score, takes the press off, and they fall back into the 2-3 zone. Carroll looking to work perimeter. Kordick just shoots his 3rd consecutive shot and hits it. It's a 3-pointer. He has all 5 of Carroll's points, and they lead 5-2. Huntington now working against the Bishop Carroll man-to-man pressure. That is number 10, Nick Siriano. He's a sophomore guard. He's also working against a sophomore guard, Gary. And for 2 sophomores, that is going to be a pretty big test for both of them to have the responsibility to run their team's offense tonight.
Well, it's nice to see young guys playing like that, Ron. I noticed did you bump it? Did you bump it? We have a...
Yeah, I know you probably just bumped it, that's all you did.
Oh, my. Well, we just knocked all the power out here at Bishop Carroll with all the excitement going on. Ron was jumping up and down here in the booth. He swung back and drove me into the power. And we have a power outage in Ebensburg. We're going to be on hold here for a little while. So we're going to head back to the station here for a quick commercial break and till we get this all solved here.
Planning a party, reception, or anniversary, why not consider St. Barnabas Catering Service? St. Barnabas is conveniently located in the Bon Air section of Johnstown. And
here at Bishop Carroll Gymnasium, everything's working fine. We got Bishop Carroll in all white tonight. And Huntington gets the ball in. And there is a quick bucket. And that's Craig Black who dumps it in. He's averaging 13 points a game here. Beck drives, he shoots, and it goes. So Glenn Beck, the big boy, he fires one in from about 10 feet. There's a wide open. Brent Cutshall, he just fires it in. Quick layup at 7-6 Bishop Carroll, 4:34 to go. here in the first quarter. Ratchford bringing the ball up the court. He's going to go all the way. He misses. And that's rebounded by Black. And Black's going to bring the ball up the court for Huntington. It's 7-6 here in favor of Bishop Carroll. Sylvester guarding Servano. Ball back. Ganano bringing the ball in. It's stolen there by Kordick. Down the court. Ball goes to Cicatella. He shoots and he cans that. That's his first bucket of the night. 9-6 in favor of Bishop Carroll. Down the court comes Cutshaw, and he's going to be fouled by Ratchford. So, the foul on Ratchford. Going to the line will be Cutshaw. So right now with the ball is Cutshaw. Stands about 6'3". He swings it out to Black. Black over to Servano. Now they feed the ball into Paul Elder. He shoots, it goes. So Elder scores, making it 9-8, 3:17 to go. With the ball now, Sylvester, the sophomore, bringing it across the timeline. He goes over to Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck shoots about a 6-footer, and it's going to be missed. And we got a foul. That's going to be on Kordick. Over to back. Kordick has 5 points tonight. That's his first foul. 9-8, 3:04 to go. Bishop Carroll in all white. And Huntington in a dark blue. Ron has a blue and green shirt on tonight. I'm wearing a red shirt. So now you know what we're all wearing. Let's get back to the game. Driving the bucket now is Cutshaw. He throws a pass. It's going to be deflected off Cicatella's leg. It rolls out of bounds. Huntington's ball under their own bucket. Bishop Carroll is setting up in a 2-1-2. Oh, my. They missed the man wide open underneath. Cutshaw broke open wide underneath. He gets the ball anyway out in the corner. Cutshaw swings the ball to Elder. Elder gets the ball to Black. Black swings it out to Servano. So in the corner, the ball goes to Black. Craig Black can't find no one open. He goes to number 45, Paul Elder. Ron, what do you think about the action so far?
Hey, Gary, I'll tell you the truth. I'm watching number 32 for Bishop Carroll, Glenn Beck. He stands 6'1", and he is guarding two kids in the post, both of which are 6'4" and 6'5". And Huntington cannot get the ball in past Glenn Beck. I think he's doing a fine job so far at keeping the ball away from the bucket by guarding two of the Huntington players. And as we've talked before, Gary, we enjoy Glenn Beck. He's very intense. He's got his game face on tonight, and I wouldn't want to get him mad at me. Carroll just lets one fly. That's Mark Ratchford. He bags it. That's about a 15-footer, and that sets the count at 11-11 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Huntington now bringing the ball down and crossing the half-court line. The sophomore point guard is Nick Siriano. Passes over to number 30. That's Craig Black. Black top of the key to Cutshaw. Bishop Carroll in a man-to-man, saggy man-to-man. We have a baseline drive, whistle, and a foul. That's going to go against Bishop Carroll. Official Ray Witkowski comes over to the bench. And he tells us it was blocking against Bishop Carroll. Huntington will inbound the ball. 1 minute, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter with a score. Bishop Carroll 11, Huntington 11. There's the break. The inbounds pass is made. And number 25 for Huntington, Brett Cutshaw works, drives left-handed. That was blocked by Ratchford. Ratchford went up, Gary, and he gave the big kibosh.
Yes, sir. He dropped the big kibosh on him, Ron. Huntington with the ball underneath. Black inbounds the ball to Cutshaw. Cutshaw up front being guarded by Ratchford. He passes, and he rolls to the bucket after the pick. He shot that one right-handed. Brent Cutshaw pours in for number 6. That was an assist from Nick Servano.
Gary, the Cutshaw boy learned his lesson. Last time he tried this shot, he shot it left-handed, and Ratchford was there to give him the big kibosh. This time he came back, shot it right-handed, and made it. Okay, that was Cordick misfiring as Huntington gets the rebound. They come down the floor. Bodies go all over the place. Looks like World Federation Wrestling out there, Gary. We got a whistle, and it's going to be a traveling violation against Huntington. And you can hear the rhythmic applause of the Bishop Carroll faithful as they like that call. The ball now goes to Bishop Carroll. And we have some substitutions in the ball game for Huntington. Number 23 is Cleveland Walker. He checks in for his first appearance of the night. And also number 40 for Huntington, and that is Tim Gronever. Bishop Carroll on the attack. Little Freddie Sylvester has the ball stolen away. There comes Huntington. It's a 3-on-2 break. Pass goes inside, up and in. Number 12. That's one of the bench players for Huntington. Just hit on the closing end of a fast break. And that sets the count. Huntington 15. Bishop Carroll 11 with 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Bishop Carroll looking at the Huntington 2-3 zone, and they are just working the ball, looking for the last shot. The last boy that scored was Brian Hanks. Clock winds down. We're inside of 10, and Ratchford has the ball. He's looking for Glenn Beck. He finds him. Back to Cordick. Cordick's three-pointer attempt is blocked. He gets his own rebound, loose ball, and that's the buzzer. Ending the first quarter with the score, Huntington 15, Bishop Carroll 11. Back to our station, WIYK. Huntington is working the ball, and we have a turnover, number 45 for Huntington. That was Paul Elder, misfired on a pass to number 23, and that is Cleveland Walker, and the ball goes out of bounds into the hands of Bishop Carroll. They're down 4 as they attack the 2-2-1 press of Huntington. Cordick with the ball at half court, across to Freddie Sylvester, the sophomore. The pass was made to the corner, knocked out of bounds by a hustling Huntington player. That's number 30, and he is Craig Black. He came out from the bottom position on the zone, knocked the ball out of bounds. Bishop Carroll inbounds on the sideline. Pass goes to Cordick. So Sylvester, top of the key. Sylvester in a little bit of trouble, finds Ratchford. Ratchford, a running one-hander, throws it up off the glass. No good, not the best shot in the world, a little bit out of control. And he then goes in to tie up the Huntington boy for a jump ball. The possession arrow points to Bishop Carroll. They will inbound it under their basket. That time, Gary, number 12, Mark Ratchford, a little bit out of control, kind of forced one up.
Yes, he did, Ron, and as we say that, Cordick fires from the corner, he misses. That rebound's going to go to number 40, Tim Crownover. So bring the ball up the court now for Huntington. Point guard Brian Hanks. Hanks hit the ball to Cleveland Walker. Walker holding, he's being guarded by Ratchford. Walker sees nobody open. Paul Elder working hard underneath, along with Tim Crownover. Walker drives, shoots, and he travels. Got a little fancy with that shot. And the ball goes to the Carroll Huskies, 15-11, 6:39 to go in the half. Inbounding the ball is Chris Ratchford. Getting ready to come in for Bishop Carroll. It looks like Tommy Chris. Sylvester with the ball. He fires into Ratchford. Ratchford back to Sylvester. Sylvester takes a dribble, comes back to Cordick. They get into Glenn Beck. He shoots about a 10-footer. No dice. Rebound. Ratchford, he misses. Rebound Ratchford again. It's stolen by Cleveland Walker. Cleveland Walker leading the fast break down the court for Huntington. He gives the ball in to Crownover, and we have a foul, and it's going to be on the sophomore Freddie Sylvester. Tom Chris coming in the game for Mark Ratchford, and also entering the game is number 10, Felak. So Felak enters the game now. Sylvester's out of the game, and Ratchford leaves the game. We'll get a first name here for Felak. Larry Felak into the game. Inbounding the ball is Black. He fires it over to Walker. Cleveland Walker out front with the ball. He's checking things out. He calls out the play. Number 3 says. He fires the ball to Brent Cutshaw. Cutshaw to Black. Inside to Crownover. Crownover throws the ball away, and it's taken by Felak. Oh, excuse me. Okay, Bishop Carroll's ball. Back to live action. Filack with the ball. He swings it over to Kordick. Kordick outside the three-point range. And there's another stolen pass. Huntington's playing some excellent defense. There's a layup. It's scored by number 30, Craig Black. Craig Black with 4 points. 17-11. There's the ball down the court. There's a charging foul. Larry Filack, he's going to throw the timeout signal. He wants a timeout after the charge is drawn. Coach Bruce Strickland wants to talk to the boys. Let's cut back to the station for a few commercial messages. Run.
L. Strains in Johnstown has a full line of railroad supplies and accessories. There is everything.
Ron Refrano, my broadcast buddy tonight. So Bishop Carroll calls a timeout. Bruce Strickland's giving him a little speech there in the huddle. Bruce Strickland, Ron, seems to be an excellent coach. He seems like he's on the same wavelength as his players. The players can really, Bruce can relate very well with his players, you know. He's a young man, and he understands their situation.
Bruce is a great coach, Gary. The players love him. They play very hard for him, and I think his success down through the years really speaks for itself. Gary, before the timeout, we just want to describe for the fans what happened. We had a situation where the sophomore for Bishop Carroll, number 10, that is the Filack boy, Larry Filack. He took a charge against the 6'5", number 45 from Huntington, Matt Elder. You had to see it to believe it. Filack stands about 5'6", and it was like sacrifice your body for the good of the team, and he did. He certainly did. And Gary, what has happened since that defensive play is that Bishop Carroll has come back to score. They've just made a nice defensive play to get the ball back, and that charge that was taken by Filack might be a little bit of a spark to get Bishop Carroll a little bit closer to Huntington here with the score. Huntington 17, Bishop Carroll 13, 4 minutes and 32 seconds ago in the second quarter. Bishop Carroll working against the Huntington 2-3 zone. They're working the ball perimeter. Filack has the ball top of the key. Pass inside to Chris. High post, back to Filack, over to the wing. Chris drives baseline, 8-footer up around the rim, no good. There's Glenn Beck, pump fake, up, foul. Gary, so far, Glenn Beck has been kind of quiet offensively. That's because he looks up and sees two kids that stand 6'5", the elder boys, Matt and Paul. And Glenn stands at about 6'1", so he cannot catch the ball down low with his back to the basket and put his moves on. He's been forced to go out maybe 10, 15 feet away, and he has not, to this point, he has scored 2 points, which is a kind of a quiet night for Glenn Beck, but that time he hustled, got the rebound, went back up strong on the offensive board and got fouled. Glenn Beck will shoot 2, dribbles 3 times, focuses, lets her fly around the rim and out. No good. He has the second. It looks as if on the transition, Bishop Carroll will probably go to their man-to-man pressure defense. Glenn takes 5 dribbles this time, lets her fly around the rim again. No good. Rebound, loose ball. Chris up again. We have a whistle and a traveling violation. Tommy Chris shuffled his feet as he tried to get off a shot inside close to the hoop. And official Ray Witkowski blew him down for traveling. So Huntington now inbounds the ball. They split their stack play. The ball goes to number 10. That's Nick Siriano, sophomore guard. And Gary just saw a bone-crunching screen that was set by 44 Paul Elder against the Chris boy. It jarred his dental work, I guarantee you. Huntington now looking at the Bishop Carroll man-to-man pressure defense. Elder boy has the ball. He's 6'5". Glenn Beck is all over him. Now we have a trap in the corner. Elder fires it back out to Black. Black hits Siriano, and that time the Bishop Carroll defense did not give an inch. They shut down Huntington very successfully. There's the Black boy, crossover dribble. Shot is up, and no good. Rebound goes to Cicatillo. And since the Filack boy took the charge, Gary, Huntington has not scored. Bishop Carroll has had a few possessions, and they're looking to get back into the ball game. Filack passes to Kordick. Uh-oh, there it goes. The home run ball, that's a three-pointer. Kordick nails it, and that cuts the Huntington lead to 1. Gary, with Doug Dolgis out tonight, it looks as if the Kordick boy realizes that he has to pick up the slack as far as the scoring goes, and he's looking to score a little bit tonight.
We'll have to. Doug Dolgis is one of their big guns. He's out with a separated shoulder tonight, Ron. Kordick, brings the ball up to Kordick, gets the Filack, back to Kordick. There's a 3-run bomber, and he's going to come up short on that one. Rebound, Paul Elder. Matt and Paul Elder are brothers, I believe, Ron.
I hope so.
We'll say they're brothers.
They sure look alike.
Until someone tells us different. But they really look alike. The only thing is,
One's senior, one's sophomore.
Matt Elder's 45. I'd say he's a senior. Am I right, Ron? Not knowing offhand?
Yes.
You can tell by his build. He's a strong, he's a lot stronger of the two. Stronger looking of the two. And as I say that, Paul Elder goes to the line. And he is the sophomore. So Paul gets ready. He throws the ball up, and it's going to be missed, and we got a violation. And White is in the lane too soon, and the White is Bishop Carroll, and the Huskies just gave Huntington a chance at another free throw attempt. You can scratch it. Here at Bishop Carroll Gymnasium, where Huntington will be taking the ball out. It'll be Craig Black will be inbounding it. Bishop Carroll trying to deny the inbounding, and Larry Filak almost had the steal. Servano bringing the ball around Filak. Bishop Carroll's in a man-to-man. Black with the ball. He gets the ball into Elder. That's Paul Elder. Man-to-man. Servano just pulled a walk, and Filak rushed him a little bit, and he gave up his dribble, and he forced the walk. Filak doing a great job. Filak gets the ball to Kordick. Kordick to Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck takes a dribble. He gets it out to Kordick. Kordick shoots. It's going to be short. Rebound goes to Cutshaw. Cutshaw gets the ball to Servano. Servano driving down the court. Bishop Carroll back on the man. Filak guarding Servano. The ball goes to Black. His man gets off him a little bit. Kordick trying to make the steal, and when that happens, Ron, if you come up short on the steal, it's usually an easy bucket, and it was. So Craig Black fires it in. He got number 8, 22-21. Filak with a pass to Glenn Beck. He power moves in. He misses. Rebound, Matt Elder. Elder gets the ball to Cutshaw. Cutshaw throws it up into the bleachers. And there's a boy up there with a Seattle. Is that the Boz? Is that Bosworth up there in the bleachers? Is it, Ron? I can't really tell. I think he's a little bit too small.
Which one?
The guy right there with the Seattle Seahawks shirt on, number 55. No, that's not the Boz, Ron. I'm mistaken. A little bit too small. We have a foul here that's going to go on Chris Kordick. All seriousness aside now, Ron, I thought that was Bosworth. Okay, Craig Black inbounding the ball for Huntington. They get the ball out to Cutshaw. Cutshaw's on a 2-on-1 fast break. He's going to pull up. He gets the ball to Servano. Over to Cutshaw. In Matt Elder, he turns, shoots, and scores. Matt Elder, the big boy, he fires it in. Ron, here's an important thing I want to tell you about. Huntington scored 4 points in the second quarter. Bishop Carroll outscored 11-4 in the second quarter. And right now, Bishop Carroll is being outscored 4-0, so Huntington's going to have to make up for that. Huntington's up 23-22. Filak gets the ball to Kordick. He's out there a mile away, and he pumps it in. It's going to be a two-pointer and a split on line. Craig Black inbounds the ball to Cutshaw. Cutshaw bringing it down. Tom Chris guarding him, and Chris, he goes for sort of like a tackle on the guy right there. He gets a foul, and he gets a little bit too aggressive. Ron, we're going to hand the mic to you. You can take over while I wet my whistle.
Sounds good to me, Gary. Huntington inbounds. There goes 25. Cutshaw dips, shoots. He's fouled. Took the ball into the lane. Had a nice spin move. Put the ball up and was fouled about 3 different times. Unfortunately, they're going to assess the foul on the number 23. That's Tom Christ. That's 2 fouls in a row for the Chris boy. Number 25 for Huntington. Brett Cutshaw goes to the line.
Well, I'd like to add one thing. It seems that Tom Christ, something's going on, I think, between him and Cutshaw, because that's 2 quick fouls, and they were both pretty physical fouls on Cutshaw, and they seem to have a little bit of some words across to each other. That is not very good, because a guy like Cutshaw uses his head, he can get Chris out of the game quick. You know, just I don't know what kind of temper Tom Christ has, but it seems like I think he's on his, Cutshaw's on his nerves a little bit right now. Cutshall hits 2 free throws.
Puts Huntington up by 1, 25-24. We'll watch that. We'll watch that Chris Cutshall matchup here before the night's over. There's Filak going coast to coast with a break. He pulls it out. Pass over to Kordick. Uh-oh. My goodness, he shot that from the parking lot. No good. That was a three-point attempt. But to his credit, Chris Kordick is looking to score points tonight, and he knows how to do it. So he misfired on that last one. Huntington now has the ball. They've just double-dribbled. No one called. We have a whistle and a foul. And, Gary, things are a little confusing right now on the floor. The Huntington boy double-dribbled down in the corner, and neither official seemed to really pay too much attention to that. They then got the ball inside to one of the Elder boys, Paul Elder. He nailed it and was fouled. So give Huntington a 3-point lead now with a timeout. We're going to cut back to the station for a few commercials.
Planning a party, reception, or anniversary, why not consider St. Barnabas Catering Service? St. Barnabas is...
And as Gary said, you sometimes have to wet your whistle to make it through some of these games sometimes. And we do have a Coke here. So, Gary, I'll take a drink of that Coke, and you can have one, too, and we'll be a little more smooth here on the broadcast. At the line for Huntington, number 44, that's Paul Elder. He is, at the moment, going to complete a 3-point play with his free throw. Up in the air, swish. Huntington up 4. They've got the pressure on now. It's a full-court press, and Kordick has to inbound the ball against a 6'5" Elder boy. There's a steal with a good pressure from Huntington. The shot is up. Too short, loose ball. Tommy Chris pulls it down, plays volleyball there, taps it back to Filak, and Bishop Carroll finally has control.
Just take a drink of that Coke, Ron, I'm telling you. Okay, Filak with the ball. He fires over to Tommy Cicatello. Back to Filak. Filak to Kordick. Kordick to Glenn Beck. One fake. Nope. Filak with a nice fake. He drives the hoop. Lou leaves his feet, gets it off to Glenn Beck. Beck misses. Rebound goes to Craig Black. Black swings it out to Cutshall, and he got an easy layup. It'll go for Cutshall. And Cutshall shoots it in left-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 points for Cutshall. Brett Cutshall. Like I told you, Ron, Huntington's the kind of team that can blow you out. They're up 6 now, that quick. Boom, boom, boom. They're up 6. Filak with the ball. He gives the ball to Cicatello. Cicatello, no dice on that shot. Gets the ball back. Filak with the ball to the 3-point man, Chris Kordick. And he's going to let it fly from La La Land. And it's going to go. 3-pointer. I don't know where I come up with that one, Ron, but... So Cervano bringing the ball up the court, 30-27, 4:10 to go here in the third period. Craig Black with the ball being guarded by Mr. 3 points himself, Chris Kordick. He has 3 bullseyes tonight from long range. Elder. Big boy Elder swings. He misses. Rebound, Tommy Cicatello. Cicatello must have played football. Very strong-looking boy. Filak bringing the ball up the court. He crosses the timeline. And that ball goes into Tom Christ. He drives. He throws it up, and it's going to get a little bit of bounce around the rim. Yes, indeed. So Tom Christ with his first bucket of the evening. Bishop Carroll pulls within 1. Cutshall with the ball. Bishop Carroll still in the man-to-man. Cervano gives the ball to Cutshall. He drives, being guarded by Tom Christ. He dumps it off to Elder. Nothing doing. Back out to Cervano. Ron, Bishop Carroll's man-to-man. It seems to be very effective here against Huntington.
They play tough defense, Gary, and I'm very impressed with the work of 2 boys in particular, the Filak boy, who is not letting the Huntington guard penetrate at all, and Glenn Beck, who is doing a nice job inside on Huntington's 6'5" Twin Towers. We have a whistle and a foul against Bishop Carroll. Ray Witkowski says number 33 for Bishop Carroll did a push. That's Chris Kordick, the 3-point ace. He commits a foul. We have 1-1 now, and Gary, we're in 1-1 very early, 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Shooting the 1-1 will be number 30 for Huntington. That is Craig Black. Craig checks in with 8 points tonight, and he's their leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game. Senior forward, 6'2", and a nice-looking ball player. First one is up, nothing but net. He nails it. Puts Huntington up 2. As the cheerleaders give us a little rendition of rebound that basketball. Second shot is up by Black. No good. Rebound goes to Tommy Christ. Over to Larry Finak. He's a sophomore running the Bishop Carroll offense. Christ, high post, 13-footer turnaround score. Tommy Christ hits 4 points in a row, and that knocks the score 31 all. The warning has just gone to Huntington. Gary, the warning about letting the ball go when it comes beneath the basket. I'm sorry, the warning went to Bishop Carroll. And the next time that happens, that's going to be a technical foul against the offending team. Huntington now with the ball on the attack. Bishop Carroll has dropped back to a zone, 1-3-1 zone. There's a steal by Filak. He loses out of bounds. And that's just nothing but hustle. Larry Filak, good little sophomore, really gets his money's worth tonight and hustles both ends of the floor.
Ron, speaking of technical fouls, we were doing the Blathley Valley-Glendale game last week. And one of the Glendale players played kung fu on the bleachers and got himself a technical. And down at Blackleaf, we're right down on the floor, as you'll see tomorrow. Ron was sick during that game, but I can't recall the name, but he came over and he looks sort of like Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris, man. He just threw a kick into the bleachers, and the referee was on him for the big technical. Ron, I look across the way here, and I see a girl in a shirt that has Maryland written across the front of it, and do you have any idea who that could be, Ron?
That's our girlfriend, Sue Panic, Gary. Sue is a senior here at Bishop Carroll, heading, of course, on a scholarship to Maryland Division I school, and we're going to follow her career with a lot of interest, as she really is a fine, fine player for Bishop Carroll. That's Sue Panic. There's Chris Kordick. He's letting that fly from Carrolltown, and no good, but the ball was converted by Glenn Beck with a stick back. He rebounded it, put it right up in Mr. Elder's face and said, "Here's two for you, Mr. Elder." That gives Carroll a 2-point lead as they now are playing defense. Huntington, turnaround jump shot, air ball, no good. Carroll with the rebound, and here comes Chris Kordick. He checks it out over to Filak, top of the key, over to Kordick on the right wing. Kordick looking for Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck is shadowed by the 6'5" Elder. He finds Beck inside. Glenn Beck shoots and scores! And that puts Carroll up by 4. And Gary, I tell you what, the more I see Glenn Beck, the more he looks like Rome Lane to me.
I'm going to have to take the mic off of Ron now. He's out of control here, folks. Glenn Beck is playing an excellent game. And the ball goes into Craig Black. He shoots. Rebound, Sicatella knocked out of his hands by Brett Cutshaw.
Gary, I'm sure you have seen the replay of Jerome Lane smashing the banking board at Pitt this week.
Yes, I did, Ron. It was unbelievable.
I'm going to make a prediction. Glenn Beck is going to get a banking board before the year's over.
I don't know about that, Ron. They say 1,000 pounds of pressure to bring it down.
Even if he has to stare it down with his game face, he'll smash it.
Well, possibly that way, Ron. When he gets that game face on, that board might just shatter in total fear of the boy. But I'll tell you, he plays serious basketball. There's Sicatella from three-point land. He misses. Rebound. Elder, it's taken right off him by Chris. The bucket's not going to go. We have a foul on Cleveland. Oh, Matt Elder with the foul. Matt Elder with a foul. Tom Chris goes to the line. He can put the Huskies up by 6 if he sinks both of these. So we had a total turnaround here. Bishop Carroll was down 6 at one point here in this quarter.
Gary, a few minutes ago, you're right. Bishop Carroll was down 6. Tommy Chris hit 4 consecutive points. Glenn Beck answered with 4. And the Huskies now have climbed to a 4-point lead. 15 seconds ago, they're looking for the last shot of the quarter, and we'll have the call for you. Filak, left wing, looking. Tied up, cross-court pass to Chris. Chris finds Glenn Beck. Back to Chris, 19 feet away to three-pointer, off the glass, no good. Huntington rebounds, and that's the quarter with the score. Bishop Carroll 35, Huntington 31. We're going to cut back to the station for a few commercials.
See that the referee held the ball, and Bishop Carroll ran onto the court as fast as they could and inbound the ball as quickly as they could, trying to catch Southern Huntington off guard. Filak drove, and I'll tell you what, Cleveland Watcher is just going crazy in there. He just had 2 straight rejections, and they're picking that basketball out of the wall right now, Ron. He knocked the whole length of the court. Hey, if you're feeling down and out after the game, you just got done listening to us, have nothing to do, hey, stop by Bernie's. It's the 5th quarter. for good food and drink.
There you have it, the fifth quarter at Bernie's. We're looking at number 23, Tommy Christ. He's going to be shooting 2 free throws as Gary, when Christ attempted that second shot, it looked like a case of aggravated assault. He was knocked about 5 different directions. He picked himself up off the floor, and he's making an attempt now to shoot free throws. He misses the first, makes the second. Jacks Carroll's lead up to 5 points with 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Carroll now in a 1-3-1 zone, and Huntington on the attack. On the floor for Huntington, Cleveland Walker, number 23. Number 30 is Craig Black. Number 25 is Gutschall. The 2 elder boys, Matt and Paul, both stand 6'4" and 6'5", and they have a very intimidating front line.
They've been very silent, the 2 elder brothers, as of late, Ron.
Gary, and the reason I think is because Glenn Beck is putting a whammy on them. Glenn Beck just misfires in the key. Rebound, Cleveland Walker. It's showtime. Here he goes. Coast to coast, knocked out of bounds by Tommy Christ, number 23.
What happened, Ron, is I think Glenn put a mojo on him. He strapped the mojo on the elder boys, and they're in big trouble. He got a whammy put on them. They can't score. There's a shield over the bucket for those 2 boys.
Well, Gary, you can't help it. You watch the boys play, and you certainly pick out boys that especially are favorites or appeal to you, and Glenn Beck certainly is one of my favorites, and I just enjoy watching him play. Huntington just hit a deuce from the corner. That was a 2-pointer by number 30. That was Craig Black. They cut the lead to 3, and we're getting down to the point of the game where every possession counts, every play counts. Carroll now on the attack. They're working man-to-man against Huntington's man-to-man defense. There's Glenn Beck. Scoop shot is up, no good, and he's fouled.
What's going on now, Ron, is what Glenn Beck's doing. He's driving, he's fake pumping, getting the elder boys off his feet, and he's putting his body right into him. And I see that Tom Christ is also doing that. And what's happening, they can convert their free throws. It's going to be tough. We got some foul trouble here, and it's on the elder. Coming into the game will be Brian Hanks. There's a shot from Glenn Beck. Glenn, you got to make that. You got to make that, Glenn. Ron, you're talking about picking exciting players and following them very closely. As I talk here, Matt Elder comes out of the game. The senior, he's in a little bit of foul trouble. As Glenn Beck approaches the line again, he shoots. It misses. Rebound, Greg Black. Ron, as we talk about exciting players that you really like to watch tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be down in Nantiglow, Pennsylvania, Blackley Valley against Laurel Valley. And Ron, you're going to see Troy Evans for the first time. I think you'll really enjoy watching him play. So listen in, folks, and as I talk, Greg Black comes with a long jumper, nothing but cord. So Tom Christ brings the ball up to 36-35. We got a barn burner here at Ebensburg. Kordick with the ball. He gets the ball to Cicatello. Man-to-man defense being played by Huntington. Cicatello using his dribbling skills, and the ball gets away from Glenn Beck from the pass from Cicatello, but Glenn Beck recovers. Filak with the ball. Cleveland Walker guarding him very close, and there's a steal. Filak throws the ball, and it's stolen by Paul Elder, the sophomore, and now Huntington has a chance to take the lead. Hanks with the ball.
Black's the hot hand, man.
Craig Black is the hot hand for them. They get the ball to Elder. He shoots, and there's going to be a foul. It's going to go on Bishop Carroll's Chris Kordick. And here's where the foul shooting is going to come in. 5:33 to go. There's a hot tip for you lottery players. 5:33. And you know how the lottery works, Ron. You got to play to win. Nick Perry says he did. Now, that's bad. That's not right to say. I hope Nick's not listening tonight. Matt Elder at the line. Ron, sometimes we get out on some crazy tangents. I hope it never gets us in trouble. Tom Cicatello out of the game. Kordick pulls a big rebound into the game is Mark Rashford, number 12. He has 2 points on the game. Cleveland Walker guarding Larry Filak. Filak gets the ball to Rashford. Ron, take over the play-by-play now.
Carroll, Gary, working very patiently on offense. They have to make a good decision here and get a good shot. They're working their weave. Little Filak passes inside, throws the ball away. Tough pass to handle. He drove, pulled his dribble, drew the defense, and tried to slip an underhand speed pass into Tommy Chris, threw the ball away, and that's a big turnover. Now Huntington has a chance to take the lead. They're working against the 1-3-1 zone. They look to their hot scorer, Craig Black, number 30. He's a fine jump shooter. Ball goes to Gutshaw, Brett Gutshaw, too far. The ball went over the far side of the basket, knocked out of bounds by Bishop Carroll, and the chant goes up from the Bishop Carroll faithful. You can guess what it was, the classic air ball. Huntington inbounds. Gutshaw, top of the key, looking for the point guard. It's number 12. That's Brian Hanks. Finds Coleman Walker, back to Hanks, top of the key. There's a hot hand, Black. He lets it fly, Gary. That's 3 in a row. And if Bishop Carroll doesn't get out and stop that boy, they're going to see a big L in the sports pages tomorrow. Craig Black has hit 3 jumpers, and all 3 of them have to be about 18 feet away.
Yes, sir, Ron, but as he hit that did not put... Hey, we have a call on Filac. A push. So Filac gets, and the fans from Huntington say that's about time. They're getting a little bit rude and crude here at Bishop Carroll. Their fans are starting to chant. Hey, when Black hit that jumper, Ron, to give Huntington the 37-36 lead, that did nothing but pump up the Husky fans. They started yelling, "Let's go Huskies." I mean, they're starting to roar now. Both teams getting some instruction from their coaches. And got to get them on the court here soon. 4:25 to go. Another hot lottery number, 4:25. Ron, maybe for tomorrow night's game, if we can somehow manage it, we talked about giving a sports trivia question and somehow have the station take the answers, and you possibly could have your name on the air if you answer it correctly, and we'll, just to find out who's listening out there in Radio Land.
We're working on that, Gary, and our station manager, Peggy Corn, is going to try to rig something up for us. So hopefully by tomorrow night, we may be able to have a few trivia questions, one each quarter. And if you do know the answer to some sports trivia, you may call into the station, and the lucky winners will get their names broadcast over the radio. Huntington now shooting. Free throws. Gutshaw fires up. It's a brick. No good. Too hard. And Chris Kordick pulls down the big rebound. Huntington a 1-point lead. Bishop Carroll with the basketball and working against the Huntington 2-3 zone. There's Ratchford left wing. Back to Filac, top of the key. Back again to Ratchford. Ratchford looks, fakes, hits Filac. Kordick, the three-point bomber on the right wing. Over again to Ratchford. Ratchford hits Filac. Back over to Ratchford again. Kordick comes through the zone now. He has the ball. Left wing, Kordick looks back to Filac. Carroll cannot seem to get the ball inside as all the passing is being done perimeter. There's Filac with about a 17-footer, no good. And Kordick pulls down another rebound. He seems to be in the right place at the right time as Carroll has another possession. There's Kordick with a three-pointer, no good, too hard. Rebound to Huntington, and they have somewhat of a breakaway. Craig Black looks at the defense and pulls it back out, and Huntington now has the ball and the lead on a turning clock. 3 minutes and 25 seconds ago. Gutshaw with the ball inside to Elder. Elder shoots and is fouled. Gary, what you said a moment ago about the taller boys from Huntington wearing Bishop Carroll down certainly seemed to happen on that play. As the Elder boy flashed across the lane, he looked like he was about 6'8". He was a huge target. The Huntington guard found him, threw the ball inside, and Glenn Beck was pinned in behind him. Beck had to commit the foul, and the Elder boy goes to the line with a chance to increase the lead. The shot is up. No good. Free throw shooting has not been one of the strengths of this particular ballgame, especially in the last 3 minutes. Elder at the line for the second. Gary, who do you think Carroll's going to look to now on this possession when they get the ball?
Well, what I want to say, well, as Elder hits that shot to make it 38-36, Ron, the guy that it was hot is Tom Cicatello. And he hasn't shot for a while. Well, he's back in the game now, and maybe that's the reason Coach Fricklin brought him in. Cicatello with the ball. Whoa! Filac almost launches it up into the bleachers. Filac drives. He wings it over there to Kordick. Kordick holding things up. 2:58 to go. And I think we got a dandy here tonight. Filak, oh my. Filak forces the ball to Chris, and Chris forces it to Glenn Beck, stolen by Paul Elder. We're going to cruise down to the foul line now, and this is what it's all about, Ron, at this foul line. It's if you can hit the shots, the foul shots late in the game. They're very important. Good foul shooting teams will usually have a good... If you look, you'll notice teams that shoot good fouls usually have good seasons. The good teams shoot good fouls. Do you agree with that, Ron?
And the bad teams shoot bad fouls.
Hey. Oh. Ron, Craig Blackshaw went in. I think it was over the back as they yell. Bishop Carroll down 40-36. I hope this game stays close because I love to see the close ones. Ron, I got to thank Peg for NWIYQ, John at the station for letting us do this. I remember when you first approached me about this job at a restaurant. We were having lunch together, and you mentioned, I said, no way, Jose. I thought I'd never get on that radio. But it turns out it's a great time. Don't you think, Ron? I'm having a ball doing these games.
Love it, Gary. Hope the fans are enjoying the broadcast. And as we speak, Bishop Carroll down by 4 points, 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Huntington is going to inbound the ball, and they have the lead. They have the basketball. Knocked out of bounds. Possession to Bishop Carroll. Chris Kordick with tough defense knocked the ball off the leg of Coleman Walker, and Carroll now has a chance to inbound the ball very close to their bucket. Pass goes to Cicatello. He finds Filak, top of the key. Cross court to Glenn Beck behind the three-point line. There's Tommy Christ, foul line. Chris turns and fires. No good, Gary. The last 5 possessions, Bishop Carroll has come up empty on all 5 tries, either turning the ball over, fouling, or missing shots, and that's not the way you're going to win a basketball game anywhere.
Ron, I noticed one thing. Larry Filak wasn't shooting the whole game. He was just passing the ball. Here at the end, he's starting to put the ball up, and I don't know if that's good since he hasn't shot that much the whole game. And as I talk, Cutshall drives to the bucket. He puts it in, and that might put some icing on the cake there because it's now a 6-point game. We're closing down. Bishop Carroll just forcing shots now. They should slow things down. Cicatello just misses. Cutshall with the ball. Stolen by Filak. He falls. There's a battle there, and then the strength prevails there as Elder gets the ball. Cleveland Walker out front. Minute 15 to go. Elder with the ball. They're slowing it down, Ron, here at Bishop Carroll. Wait, we got the ball. It's like, what's going on here, Ron? There's people laying everywhere. And what's that signal, Ron, with the crossed arms up there? Will you explain that?
Takedown, Gary. Takedown. And I think
a complete pin, Ron, or is this a takedown?
Well, it borders on a complete pin. It was very close. Looks like a tag team out there in the floor. There was a loose ball. And who am I trying to think of, Gary? Who's the wrestler I'm trying to think of?
Let's just try King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, the Iron Sheik. They're all out here tonight.
Bigelow, they're all here.
And I tell you what, the ball was loose, the players were loose, and everything was a little bit loose there for about 30 seconds. And we just really had a tough... And we're going to cut back to the station very, very briefly for a quick commercial.
Need help with your fuel bill? Call Gilbert Brothers at 288-1518.
Hey, we're back here at Bishop Carroll this evening. The score is 42-36 in favor of the visiting Huntington Bearcats. 1 minute to go in this contest. It's been a great game. Both teams are talking strategy. Ron, real quick about the Super Bowl. Real quick comment on that Super Bowl last night.
I'm glad football season's over, Gary, because I can't stand it. I thought the game was terrible, and I can't wait for baseball season. Speaking of baseball season, how's your arm?
My arm's feeling really good, Ron. I'm babying it. I'm taking care of it. I'm starting to, about 2 weeks, I'll go into give it 100%.
For our fans that don't know, my broadcast partner, Gary Worm, has a little engagement down in Florida here along about the end of February, first part of March. He's going to put on the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Gary has signed a contract. He's going to be trying out with the Buccos. And Gary, we're all behind you, buddy.
Thank you, Ron. I'm going to give it my best out there. It took me a great deal of time and work to get there, and I'd just like to thank my family for supporting me so well, and everybody else who had something to do with my baseball activities. So, Huntington has just made some changes. Elder and Walker come into the game. We have Cleveland Walker, Matt Elder, Paul Elder, Brett Cutshaw, and Craig Black on the court. Bishop Carroll brings into the game some substitutes. It's probably their three-point bombers. They bring in right up. Beck drives. He misses. Rebound. The party's over, I think, Ron. Cleveland Walker with the ball. Oh, my goodness gracious. Did you see the shot that Tommy Cicatella just took in the face with his shoulder? It was an accidental contact. Didn't even flinch. Bishop Carroll got some tough boys on this team. Beck, Cicatella.
Physical team, Gary. Very physical team. They know how to play the game. They know how to play the game very tough. We have a stopped clock at the minute. 40 seconds ago, Huntington is putting the wraps on this one. As Gary, what we used to say at this time was to get the bus warmed up because it's time to go home. 44-36 Huntington.
Well, Ron, as I noticed, Huntington's bus driver just climbed the bleachers here at Bishop Carroll, and he had his keys in his hand.
Time to call the newspaper. Call in the box score. This one's history.